I know you love cats. How
Yes,
many do you have and what do you love about them?
I have two kitties. They're both tuxedos. And I love cats because I love that they'll give you unconditional love in one moment and then they'll be like, "Who are you?" I love cats. I've always had very affectionate cats that people called cat dogs
Yeah.
because they come when you call them.
Yeah. And what are their names?
Maurice and Max.
Okay. And who watches them when you're gone?
So I have the most amazing woman and her husband that they watched him last year. It was a fluke thing. And I said, "Could you, watch my kitties?" And they're like, "Oh my gosh, she rescues neonatal foster babies."
Oh,
Like it couldn't have been a better match. And then they needed housing again. And I was like, "Okay, so just know that I'm going to Broadway." Like, and so they kept themselves open. So yeah, they're watching. They love my kitties. My kitties
perfect.
love them.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's ideal.
I know.
That's a very nice thing.
Yes.
That's lovely. All right, you have a album called Mondo Christmas.
Yes.
What was your favorite song to sing and why?
It was Hooray for Santa Claus because it's from a 1960s movie with Pia Zadora. And growing up, one of my best friends in high school, his name is Jeremy Inman. We would always sing it at Christmas time. And I thought when I'm doing this Christmas album, I wanted it to be different and have different songs. And that was one of the ones I was like, I need to do this song. Nobody covers it.
Love it. What was one of the funniest, saddest, or most embarrassing things that has happened to you on set, and how did you manage it?
Funny, embarrassing, or saddest?
Yes,
Okay, wait. Funniest, embarrassing. I'm trying to think. Um, oh gosh, funniest.
we can come back to it too if you need a minute.
Yeah,
That's
let's
fine.
come back. Let's come
Okay.
back.
Um, what has been your favorite role and why? And what role that you can say do you most wish you had gotten?
Ooh, um, it's so tough because I loved Nacho Libre and I loved the Mick. Like that's a split for me because they were both movies that just really let me be kind of that cool, weird, crazy you don't get to see normally. Um, and which do I wish I lost out on? Um, I'm trying. I mean, it might be this last one.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to work with
Okay.
these people. Yeah, so it might be this last one. I'm like, no, I know which one it was because it kind of broke me and taught me a lesson. It was Meet the Fockers.
Oh no.
Um, I had auditioned to play the nanny to Ben Stiller,
Yeah.
and I remember I gone in audition, like I auditioned so many times in a row. They had me come back. They aged down the character because at the time I looked younger, and they were like trying to do everything they could to make it where I met with Ben Stiller, everybody, and then I went on a family vacation, and they called me back. Like literally, the plane was landing. They wanted me to come back, and I'm like, "You guys knew I was leaving," and I still, my parents, because they're so supportive, they were like, "Okay." They put me on a, like I was going to come back a week later, and I did, and it was so. It felt so positive. The casting director was like, "You're amazing. I don't know what else they need to see. Like you're doing everything great." Then things halted for a month. Like literally, it was like, "Oh well, we don't need to make a decision." I'm like, "Well, you could have waited another week then." And then after that month, it ended up going, and it broke me because it taught me a valuable lesson that nothing is more important to my than my family. Honestly, that was the last trip I ever took with my mom. That
Okay.
was We never had another family trip because she was from the stroke. She was in a wheelchair, so to get her on a plane, it was insane. But we did, and so ever since then, if something was going on that regarded my family or close friend, I was there, and somebody would have to deal with it.
Interesting. That's great. And it's great to have that kind of clarity because sort of the whack-a-mole of this is hard,
Yes,
you
very much.
know? And okay. If you had not been an actor, what were you planning to be?
I could tell you what I wanted to be when I was 6, and that's a veterinarian.
Okay. And that's where it
uh,
stopped. You were sort of like, after that, no.
I don't even know. I think that was just something I said because I that sticks out in my head a lot. I think I like cooking. I might have been a chef.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So we can we go back to funniest, saddest, or most embarrassing thing that happened to you and how you managed it, if you've got one.
Yeah. Funniest, saddest. I'm trying to think. Funniest. I can't believe I can't think of. I mean,
Take your time. There's no bad answer.
funniest. And did it have to happen during a show? Like
Not
when
your
was it?
personal life. That's the only parameter.
No, no. So it happened like in the scope of auditioning or filming or
Anything work
okay.
related.
Okay, then I've got a good one because it always sticks in my head. Um, this is like earlier in my career, and I was really confident for a hot second. This took me down a notch. I was auditioning for the TV show Dexter, and I auditioned. I remembered it was like a really good. I did really great, and then I went on a weekend trip with my friends up north, and I got a call that I was going to get a call back that Monday, and I was like, great. And I was like, oh, that's I'm gonna book that. That's going to be awesome. And I got back, and I hadn't really reviewed the sides, even though I just thought, oh, I know it, but even if I'm off book, I still look at it before I start. I mean, lesson learned. So I go in there and I'm so in my head, and it's a tiny room, and there's like a table with like four people or something like that, and I'm basically up against the door, and I'm doing it, and the guy's going to ask me a question that I'm supposed to respond to that question, and he's not even halfway through it. And because I was in my head going, what am I supposed to? I answered it. He never asked it. Like he didn't get it. And then I just kind of looked at him and he looked at me. And then I kind of did the rest of the audition and it was like really silent. And I just kind of backed out of the room and I felt for the door and I was like, okay, bye. And I literally bunny hopped backwards out of the door. And I felt like that. And I cannot believe they hired me like a couple years later. Took a couple years, but I ended up doing an episode, but that was funny. Yeah.
That's it. No, it's just that's solid. That's a solid one. Good lesson learned.
Lesson
Lesson
learned.
learned.
Lesson
Love
learned.
it.